Rightfully so. You're probably panicking a little bit right now, and you've asked yourself the question, is it time to finally sell my crypto? Are we in a bull run, bear market? What the hell's happening, and what do I do? Okay, and I know that you're probably panicking, okay, because I think a week ago and prior, we had people panicking, but I never really had the clear indicator, personally speaking, that, people were really considering selling their altcoins and taking a bit of a loss and getting out of the market until I had a few people very close to me reach out to me wanting to get on a call with me saying, hey, I need help. I'm thinking about selling. Now, to me, that's a very clear indicator that it's not just these people, but of course they can rely on myself, but it's other people who don't have someone they can easily reach out to that spends all day, every day in the market, right? They're potentially wanting to exit. So in this video, we are actually going to figure out whether it is a good time to possibly think about de-risking or getting out of the market, or whether we should just weather the storm for potentially much greener days. So do not forget, if you find yourself enjoying this or maybe relaxing, maybe even, depending on the outcome, becoming a little bit more, involved, let's just say not panicking, involved, I want you to hit the like button, because I think based on what I'm going to show you here today, it should hopefully allow you to make a better decision. Non-financial advice, of course. All right, so for us to start this video, I'm going to have to tell you about a little thing I've been saying for a while now, and that's when it comes to the market, particularly crypto, okay, the whales make their money when the prices are low. When the prices are low and they can push the market down, whether they intentionally sell, whether they, put a whole bunch of FUD articles up online to cause retail to panic sell. There's a whole multitude of things. And normally if some of these things are kind of compounded together all at once, they will try to force the market down, like we've seen recently with this whole Mt. Gox and Germany sell-off of Bitcoin, whatever it might be. The whales can propagate it even more and sell a bit more to push it down. Few FUD articles here and there always goes the way. And then what they end up doing is pushing the market into a place where there is maximum fear, meaning that you decide to sell. Now, like I said many days ago and weeks ago, the only way this works for them, the only way they can continue to accumulate large amount of their favorite tokens to make their higher multiples is by pushing us into a state of pure fear, pure panic. This doesn't happen based on the slight amount of fear, right? When this fear and greed index is probably in the 30s, 40s, there's a little bit of fear there, okay, but it's not enough for you to want to panic sell, okay? Literally, 18 days ago, okay, here, the fear and greed index was 74. People were a little bit worried, okay, but ultimately, they all thought and agreed the bull run's still going to happen, so hey, it is what it is, right? But now it's at 26. And the mood has completely shifted to, I'm panicking, I need to exit the market, or they're considering it. I've noticed a lot of people are very agitated right now in my private community. Again, people are agitated, people are angry, people are questioning things. Okay, not towards the private community per se, but towards the market. Okay, it's anxiety-fueled market right now. Okay, but like I've said many times in the past, whatever's occurring on the surface, there's usually an opposite trend brewing underneath, ready to flip and switch. This is typical of crypto. Just like buy the rumor, sell the news, all these crypto-related terms, they all make sense. And it's not as though we haven't seen this before, guys. I mean, in the last month, we've fallen down 25%. I mean, we fell 20% in a few weeks before. Okay, but now it feels like it's a much worse thing. Actually, that was the wick even. Right now, it's not even, it's 21%, okay? It feels worse now because oh my God, we've been dragging along since way back early March. It's been 3 months? March, April, May, June, July, 4 months. What is happening? Well, I'll tell you what, the longer we are in between these ranges, in my opinion, again, based on what I'm going to tell you here, I think the bull run's still going to happen, TLDR, right? The longer we're in these ranges, the better, because that gives us more of a chance to accumulate. Fortune favors the brave, right? Now, again, you can also have that in the reverse, right? You could also potentially put all your eggs in one basket like crypto and then lose it all, which is why I'll mention something later on in the video. But I think the longer we range, the longer the bull run ranges, the more we accumulate, the more money we ultimately end up making. So talking about de-risking, I think it's a very important thing to assess. Again, I'll touch on this momentarily, but I will mention it now because for those of you who click off the video before I get to it, which you shouldn't do, de-risking is what you need to be doing right now. You need to be looking at your portfolio objectively and saying to yourself, can I remove some altcoins that you aren't too far underwater right now to then claw back some of the money you aren't willing to lose in the market? Again, you should always invest what you are willing to lose. And if you haven't done that, again, you might want to consider this now, or maybe wait till you get break even and then just to be safe, because like I'll conclude here in a second, ultimately no one really knows what's going to happen next. But there are a lot of catalysts that will come up. For one, of course, the Ethereum ETF, right? Once this S1 form is complete and has been approved by the SEC from all the different filers, right, including all the Ethereum ETF filers, of course, like Bitwise and so on, right? Then this is going to be a good indication, of course, that the ETFs will very quickly be approved. At least you'd hope so. These things can take a few months or years even, but like Bitcoin, we saw it took about a month or two, and then we'll have a lot of, buy pressure. And this started, making me feel like maybe, just maybe, have these whales, is this all a sort of ploy? Again, I wouldn't say specifically, but could part of the reason why the market has pulled down so far because of the accumulation of Ethereum before these ETFs? I mean, it's definitely a conspiracy theory, but again, in the world of crypto, I mean, again, there are like massive whales in groups that will always pull the market in any direction based on the slight hint of news, and they push it and they push it. We also have, I'm not getting political, of course, but we also have President Trump, possibly, if he gets in, right, in November, December, January, whenever this election is finalized. He is very much pro-crypto. It's one of his sort of proponents that he's pushing in this election cycle. So if this actually happens and he gets in, again, I'm not being political here, it is definitely going to be more bullish for crypto than if the other administration gets in. But again, I'm not going to get into all that side of things. Now, what we have seen as well is there hasn't been that much new money flowing into the space. Okay, I touched on this in a somewhat recent video, and the stablecoin market cap hasn't really grown all that much recently. Back since April, it's pretty much moved sideways. We're even below back at the highs in 2021, the previous cycle, and we've gained a lot since then, a lot. Okay, our market cap pretty much is the same globally. So I see us probably going a lot higher than what we are now. But again, there hasn't been that mass consumer confidence in the market based on what the stable coins are showing us. Of course, in order to buy a lot of these assets, you have to buy the stable coins first, which is why a lot of people always look towards the stablecoin market cap as an indication of the market heating up. Same thing over here with the trading volume as well. You can see the 24-hour trading volume hasn't even gotten like pretty much half of what we were towards the peak in about mid to late 2021. So let's put the breakdown on pause for just a second to briefly talk about this video sponsor, a new project building on Solana called Solciety. Solciety is a politify meme project that's brought some humor back to politics, which, I mean, let's face it, is a pretty interesting topic since too many of us, in my opinion, are taking politics way too seriously these days. So Solciety's plan is to bring some laughs into the political atmosphere, and with it will come the spotlight. But Solciety is more than just a meme. They're a community of comedy in general, giving their users the reins to generate their own memes with a state-of-the-art meme generator. In fact, what they're doing right now is running a campaign to give free SLCTY tokens to their community members that take part in the meme campaign that they are currently running. So all you need to do is make some memes and then just simply cash in. How about that? If you make it into the top 50 memers on the leaderboard, you'll actually earn even more rewards in the way of stable coins as well, boosting those overall returns and rewards even higher. But we all know how hard it is to reach the surface in the world of memes and meme coins, and how crucial it is to get the marketing correct in crypto. That's why Solciety's actually gone ahead and marketed their project with top influencers in over 70 different languages, and backed by an agency that's raised over $100 million in pre-sales just last year alone. And actually, Solciety has a 30-day pre-sale happening right now, and in the first 2 weeks, they actually raised over $650,000 organically, so there is quite a lot of upside here, and I can imagine that the pre-sale is poised to fill up quite quickly. So if you want to learn more about their meme antics, head over to Solciety with the link in the description, take a look at what they've built, join their DAO, and help to lead the future of political satire on Solana. They've even got augmented reality and AI-driven insights. So Solciety is integrating the latest in blockchain technology and meme coin culture. I want to give a huge shout out to Solciety for sponsoring this video as I bring you no BS crypto content every day. So again, the new cycle is going to usher in, I would assume, at least 2 times the amount of overall demand at the peak. So we have a long way to go, in my personal opinion. And if you have a look at the crypto or altcoin or any sort of buzzword Google Trend score, they're all quite down right now, all right? Now, this is another thing I want to look at here as well, which is the when to basically buy either Bitcoin or altcoin chart. I've covered this a few times on the channel. Right now, altcoins are in this green line. This is a total 3, so the total of all altcoins, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we're at levels right now that is sell your house, buy altcoins, okay? Now this inverse, where we kind of have the touching up here, but then we kind of have the spreading of the Bitcoin price in gray. I know you guys probably can't really see this very well. I do apologize. And you do have the alts falling down. This here indicates the start of the bull run. We had a very similar thing happen over here in the inverse when altcoins before that bull run phase in 2021 was way up here and Bitcoin was way down here. This time it's the other way around. So I think a massive alt season is springing. I think it really truly is compressed and ready to take off. I think that basically what we're seeing now is that altcoins are being compressed down to levels that are extremely good for these VCs to begin accumulating, the ones that have been investing into these projects back when they first had their ICOs or their seed rounds or the private round investment rounds, okay? The whales that were buying back down there, like Celestia at like whatever, 1 cent, $10, whatever it was, okay, $1, they're likely buying more of the token on these lows, okay? They need to accumulate more and build more confidence in these coins. And the way they sometimes do that is by superficially making it look better on paper, making sure that retail is more inclined to want to buy as well. The altcoin season index is also pushing more towards Bitcoin season, which is a good thing again for altcoins. We are far and away from any sort of alt season. And yes, I believe we are likely to see a massive push up. Like we saw back here in early January, we saw like Solana, Chainlink, we saw Render, Fetch, 3, 4, 5, 6x. And again, if you have a look at the volume back then, yeah, it was kind of high. Yeah, we had a lot of interest. Okay, but nothing to what's going to happen. Okay, again, I think going to be double, if not more, the total volume in 24 hours at the highs of this cycle than what it was back in 2021. So there's a lot to look for. Now, with all this being said, the question ultimately is, well, Kyron, okay, great. What you're pretty much saying here is we feel, based on data, nothing is confirmed, this is not financial advice, that the bull run should still commence. Okay, we're at all-time high levels right now, guys. If the bull run were to fade off, that would mean something has gone significantly wrong. That would mean that whales, okay, the guys who have designed the market essentially to benefit them, we're just here picking up the scraps, they've failed. And I don't see a world in which they're going to intentionally screw themselves over and not actually push and force a bull market. This exact emotion we're feeling right now is what I was saying weeks ago when there needed to be a mass fear moment where the market came down to a level in which gave them even better buying opportunities and shook out the weak hands. Put it this way, right? What's going to happen in the next week, 2 weeks, few months when the market starts pumping up again, all of a sudden rapidly? You're going to have the guys selling now, buying in at even higher prices, still looking to get their 10x out of the market, but instead their average buy-in price is much higher than what it was before, or even, of course, now, which means that they're going to end up holding their tokens at levels when they should have been selling way before, okay? Which means that these whales that are buying in now will be well out of the market. This is how it happens. They need to shake you out to basically provide themselves the liquidity to get out of the market. I mean, it's all manipulative. It's all very, very secretive, but it's how, unfortunately, it works. Again, we have to be smart enough to be one step ahead and be prepared for this. I mean, guys, we're 20% down. Previous cycles, we saw 40% down moves. So, I mean, you can't really complain all that much. So all I'm saying here is, how do we then go ahead and take this information moving forward and remove the risk? Well, first of all, you got to, I said this almost every single video, get yourself an exit tracker. I've obviously created my own here for you guys to go ahead and use. Very, very comprehensive, saves you hundreds of hours, but I don't care what you use. Mine, you make one, whatever. Go ahead, go for your life, but you got to make one. You've got to do one. You got to track your goals. You got to have a total, how much you need to make this cycle. You've got to track all your altcoins. You got to know how much revenue you're making, like in this mock portfolio. This mock portfolio needs to make, or is making, $850,000. Our goal over here is whatever this seems to be, $600,000. So we're over our goal. And then you can begin backtracking and tinkering your portfolio. And how you do that and how you remove risk in this case is by coming to this little side section over here and actually thinking about adding an initial investment level, which means your take profit level. You take all of the money you've put into each of these altcoins off the table, and therefore everything else is pure profit. So at least you didn't lose anything. And if you are someone panicking a little bit right now, I would recommend, again, non-financially, to think about possibly 2x from the current price or 2x from the price you averaged in at. So for example, what that would mean for Near Protocol, if I bought in Near Protocol at an average of $2.63, that might mean I might look towards, let's just say, $5.50 for my initial investment level. It'll tell you how much of your portfolio you would sell at that, and then reconfigure the new total, okay? So the new total will obviously be less than your previous total, you can see here, because you're taking a whole bunch of tokens off the table at a very low level. Now, of course, if removing half of your portfolio just to take back your initial investment is a lot, and it honestly is, I would always say find around about 10 to 15, maybe 20% max. So this might mean selling at $7, for example, or maybe $9 for Near Protocol, maybe not, maybe $12, and going down until you pretty much sell about max, I would say 20% of your portfolio, which means you just end up making more money in the end. But again, this is much safer. Okay, Near is probably a different example because Near Protocol, the average buy-in in this portfolio is quite low. But if you got one that's quite high, like Hedera, for example, over here, or Render, okay, well, you're underwater right now, it would be a little bit less. It'd be less intensive because you have a higher buy-in price, basically. You also want to make sure that you are, again, removing any of the risk you possibly have on the table if it's within reason. So you don't really want to be selling, I believe, at anything more than 20%. Arguments to be made at around 30% for a sell if you're underwater. And 40% or more, I don't think so, unless the coin's a clear scam, okay, or a definite rug pull. Again, definite rug pull, okay? So a lot of altcoins are down 30 to 40% right now, so I would just say it's probably not a good idea. Again, non-financially, anyone just takes that off the table and gets out of the market. I would at least look to make my money back, okay? But again, you might feel a little bit differently. And as well, you got to make sure at this point in time, guys, you remove risk by clearing some of the crappy narratives of in your portfolio, if you're not underwater or that much, and then buying some of the altcoins that actually, or topping up the altcoins in your portfolio that actually are in quality narratives, all right? So we're looking for infrastructure particularly that will last not just this cycle, but the next cycle. Very important, look for coins like Near Protocol that you'll be likely able to make some decent money on in this cycle, even if it is only a 6x, for example, but will still be around for the next cycle as well, because this will give you the security, the de-risking ability to be like, okay, well, if worse comes to worse in this cycle, I'm holding a quality coin. This likely means no meme coins, or at least in your mind, meme coins are, again, the pinnacle of I might literally lose it all or make it all. So as long as you understand that, but again, like buying things like tokenization, again, infrastructure includes things like interoperability, oracles, layer 0s, layer 3s, layer 2s. These are sort of interoperability plays. You also do have modularity as well, and also ZKPs, in my opinion. These are the bee's knees, I believe, for like longevity of your portfolio in the worst possible case. That also, of course, removes risk. So with that being said, I hope I've provided you some help. Now, if you've stuck around this far in the video, I want to give you a sneak peek in tomorrow's video. I'm going to be doing basically this, but talking about what I recently did to allow myself to make $160,000 by just selling an altcoin and buying some other altcoins. And I'll tell you how I did that on the top side. This is something we should all be considering right now if you know what you're doing. Very important. Beginners, don't try to do something they know nothing about. So I want you to watch that video tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed, because trust me right now, it's something everyone should at least be considering. Talk to you all soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.